morning, everybody from beautiful Oahu. Welcome to our little Q&A, Hawaii vacation planning, presented by Daniel's Hawaii. Let's give it a couple minutes and see who else is going to be joining us. During our video today, during the quick Q&A, feel free to comment, and hopefully I can read all your questions and answer them right away. If I do not know the answer, I'll just make something up. No, if I do not know the answer, I will get back to you, and I will give you the answer later on. Look at this. What a beautiful shot. This is Diamond Head. Sunrise right behind Diamond Head. It's 7:30 a.m. here in Hawaii, so sunrise was a couple hours ago, but it's still right now. The sun is coming up right behind Diamond Head. Isn't that a beautiful shot? Aloha again from beautiful Hawaii. I'm happy to host this first Q&A sponsored by Daniel's Hawaii. Please ask your questions in the comment section. I will try to answer all the questions immediately. Question can be anything. I mean, if you have planned a Hawaii vacation, feel free to answer what you need to know. Maybe you have a question about your hotel. Maybe you have a question about places to eat. Maybe you want to know what tours or activities you must do or you should definitely do, and where do you have to get tickets for. And one of the things that we have here in the picture, Diamond Head, for example. Oh my God, what a beautiful, beautiful shot. I don't even want to turn the camera to it. Let's start and jump right in. One of the questions we hear a lot is the ticket situation. People asking about the ticket situation. So one of the questions we get a lot is, do I have to get tickets for Kualoa Ranch? Do I have to get tickets for Pearl Harbor? Do I have to get tickets for Diamond Head? So, and this is something new. Yes, you must have tickets for Diamond Head now. That is the case since 2022. So you must go to the website, the Diamond Head National Park website, and get tickets for a time slot. And once you have the tickets for the time slot, then you have to be there within a 30-minute window, and you have to finish the hike within 2 hours. Now, I've never had it that people actually, get kicked out of the parking lot because it took them longer, but that is the rule. So you get a time slot. Let's say you get the 8 to 10 a.m. time slot. Then you have to be there the latest at 8:30 and finish the hike by 10 a.m. Tickets range from $1 to $5 to up to $50. It depends on the size of the vehicle, or if you're walking in and want to do the Diamond Head hike. Pearl Harbor tickets. I'm sure some of you want to visit Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor is the most visited attraction here in Hawaii, and tickets are hard to come by. There's about 3,000 tickets every day that the National Park Service releases for Pearl Harbor, but there's more than 6,000 visitors every day. So yes, you're right. Obviously, not everybody gets to go, and not everybody gets to take the boat ride over to the USS Arizona Memorial. The boat ride takes about 6 to 7 minutes over to the USS Arizona Memorial, and let me give you a good tip, recommendation, what you should do. Once you're on the boat that takes you over to the USS Arizona Memorial, make sure you sit on the outside of the boat. Well, not outside the boat, but on the outside, because if you want to take a picture as you're approaching the USS Arizona Memorial, you want to sit on the outside so that you don't have all the other heads and all the other cell phones that are up in the air, trying to snatch a picture of the USS Arizona Memorial in your way. So again, tip for Pearl Harbor, for the boat ride over to the USS Arizona Memorial, sit on the outside of your bench, on the very outside of your bench, to get the best picture of the USS Arizona Memorial. Tickets, you get up to 2.5, I think 3 months in advance. So make sure you log in at the time that the Park Service publishes. It has changed, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm sure there's a time at 3 p.m. Hawaiian when they release new tickets. And at 3 p.m. and 10 seconds, most of the tickets will be gone. So make sure, if you want to get tickets for a specific date, that you go onto the website, check out when your tickets will be released, and then be on time. 3 p.m., log in, try to get your tickets. It is not easy, and to be honest, this is one of the main reasons why people and visitors here to Hawaii book tours with, for example, danielshawaii.com to visit Pearl Harbor, because we get you the tickets. On our Pearl Harbor tour, we do a little bit more, and we do it a little bit different than most other tour companies. On our Pearl Harbor tour, after your visit at Pearl Harbor, you have about 3 hours at the park. And after your visit at the park, we take you to downtown Honolulu. We show you the King Kamehameha statue. You get to see the Hawaii Five-0 headquarters. We walk past Iolani Palace, show you the Capitol, the Queen Liliuokalani statue. So after our Pearl Harbor visit, you have about a 25-minute walking tour through downtown Honolulu and learn about Hawaiian history. So it's a really nice tour. I enjoy giving it. I enjoy taking it, because in the morning you learn about American history, and then a little bit later in the afternoon you learn about Hawaiian history. So it's about a 5 to 6 hour tour. So it's early enough. You will be back early enough at the hotel to have some beach time. Now, let me turn the camera. Aloha again from beautiful Hawaii. My name is Daniel. I'm the owner of Daniel's Hawaii. And today we have our first Q&A here in Hawaii. We are at Kapiolani Park. Kapiolani Park used to be a horse racetrack back in the days. Nowadays, it's a beautiful park here on the outskirts of Waikiki. And This is one of the locations we passed by on our Circle Island tour. Now, I don't want this just to be advertising for Daniel's Hawaii. That's why I would love you guys to answer or to ask questions, and I'm happy to answer them. A lot of questions we get on in our Facebook group are about restaurants. What recommendations? What restaurants can you go to? My personal favorite restaurant is Duke's Waikiki. Duke's Waikiki is a beautiful beach bar slash restaurant. It's, I think, the only beach bar that is left in Waikiki. You really have beach boys coming to Duke's Waikiki after the shift, or even sometimes during their shift, to, get a drink. The locals hang out there just as much as the tourists. So it's a really great space to mingle for tourists and for locals. They have good food. I personally like the wings, extra crispy and sauce on the side. Really good wings at Duke's Waikiki. And Duke's Waikiki, the prices are still reasonable. When you look at other bars and restaurants around Waikiki, especially the few that have beach access, for example, at the Ala Moana at the Moana Surfrider next door, you pay almost double for some of the drinks, and you're sitting pretty much in the same area, just one hotel over. Now, I mentioned the Moana Surfrider. The Moana Surfrider is a beautiful, beautiful hotel, and it was the first hotel down here in Waikiki, built in 1901. Beautiful hotel, the Moana Surfrider Hotel. If you find the time, walk right into the hotel onto the second floor. There's a little museum, and they show you pictures and even videos of what Waikiki used to look like back in the days. Will blow your mind, because when I say back in the days, I'm not talking about, 200, 300 years ago. I'm talking about maybe 100 years ago. All this, what you see here, well, Diamond Head was always here, but the buildings that you see behind me, all the hotels here in Waikiki, this was built about 70 years ago. So Waikiki is not that old. Yes, 1901 was the first hotel, and that's when more and more hotels came or were built here on the island. But for the most part, most of the hotels were built about 70 years ago. Now, let's talk about some of the hotels here. Some of the hotels with beachfront hotels. We do not have a lot of beachfront hotels. One of the beachfront hotels is the Waikiki Aotearoa Beach Hotel. To be honest, it can get a little louder because Duke's Bar is downstairs, and there's always something going on. They always have live music and everything, but you're right on the beach. If you like a little bit of hustle and bustle and a little bit of action during your vacation, then the Aotearoa Waikiki Beach is definitely a nice hotel. Another hotel that we have right on the beach is the Moana Surfrider. I just mentioned the Moana Surfrider, built in 1901. That's definitely a completely different price range as the Aotearoa Waikiki Beach. However, it is a really, really beautiful hotel, and even if you're not staying there, you should definitely visit it. Another hotel right on the beach is the Aotearoa Waikiki Reef. Aotearoa Waikiki Reef. However, the beach, I must say, is not that great. It's mostly washed out, and if you stay at the Aotearoa Waikiki Reef Hotel, you will find yourself walking towards the Aotearoa Waikiki Beach and the Moana Surfrider Hotel to hang out at the beach. Another hotel with direct beach access is the Royal Hawaiian. The Royal Hawaiian is our Pink Lady, beautiful hotel. The Pink Lady, built in 1927. You can't miss it if you walk down the beach. Well, it's the only pink hotel we have here. So it's an amazing hotel, beautiful architecture, just like the Moana Surfrider has beautiful architecture. And the Royal Hawaiian is about in the same price range as the Moana Surfrider. It's definitely not a budget friendly or not a budget or not a cheap hotel. So the Royal Hawaiian Moana Surfrider, definitely some of the hotels that are more expensive. If you are looking for a cheaper place to stay and you don't want to stay in one of the hostels, you can stay at one of the smaller hotels. For example, to be honest, I like the Holiday Inn Express. The Holiday Inn Express Hotel at the very beginning of Waikiki, newly renovated and really not too expensive. You can get a night sometimes, depending on the seasons, a season under $100. And as mentioned, newly renovated hotel rooms. They have a nice recreational area with a deck and a small pool. So you definitely don't stay there for the pool. The walk to the beach is about 10, 12 minutes. So it's not too bad. It's only a few blocks. The money that you save there, you can spend on activities. These are some of the hotels I think are worth mentioning. Of course, there's many, many more. We have about 180 hotels down here in Waikiki, and some of them are prettier than others. Now, other questions we get a lot here in our Facebook group. What's the weather like in Waikiki? Well, it depends. The weather in the winter can be rainy, not meaning that it rains days and days, but we do have rainy days here in Hawaii, and the chances of rainy days are higher during our winter than they are during summer. So I personally, to be honest, my favorite month here in Hawaii is February. My favorite month in Hawaii is February because you still have whale season, so you get to watch and see whales. We have still the big waves up on the North Shore, so if you want to see the big waves and you want to see the surfers up on the North Shore, February is a good month. Yes, it rains a little bit more, but that gives us more rainbows, and Hawaii is known to be the rainbow state. Also, that gives us more waterfalls and bigger waterfalls. And because it's February and not December, the prices are not as inflated as they are during one of our peak seasons. These are my 5 reasons why February is a good month to travel to Oahu. Whale watching in Hawaii. If you want to see whales in Hawaii, you should come here between November to April. However, the best chances of seeing whales is during January and February. And it doesn't really matter if you're on a big boat or on a small boat. Nobody is allowed closer to the whales than 100 feet. So it doesn't matter if you're on a small boat or on a big boat. That being said, I did a whale watching on Maui in a kayak. Let me tell you that's a whole nother level. The whales were super close, and when they come up and they're about 10 feet away from you and you're sitting in this little kayak, you can feel the adrenaline because these mammals are massive. However, it's one of the best experiences I've ever had. So if you want to go on a whale watching tour on Maui and you want to kayak with the whales, I highly recommend it. Don't even think twice. It's definitely worth it. Whale watching on Maui on a kayak, and we will post the link to our friends on Maui in the description later. Question that we have in our Facebook group: do we stay in Waikiki or is it better to stay on the North Shore? We don't want to be where all the tourists are. We don't want to be where it's so busy. We want to be somewhere where it is more quiet. And I completely understand. However, for your first trip to Hawaii, I highly recommend that you stay in Waikiki. The reason for that is everything is down here in Waikiki. All the tours start in Waikiki. You have lots of restaurants in Waikiki. You have a lot of events down here in Waikiki. And you do not necessarily need a rental car. If you're staying on the North Shore, you definitely need a rental car. The hotels up on the North Shore, there's only two, is the Turtle Bay Hotel, beautiful, newly renovated hotel, and highly recommend it. And then there is a Courtyard Marriott in Laie. These are the two hotels that we have up on the North Shore. However, to get there, you need a car. Yeah, you can go by bus, but nobody does that, let's face it. And once you're up there on the North Shore, if you don't have a vehicle, if you don't have a car, it's super, super hard to get around, especially if you want to do tours or you want to explore the area. It's highly recommended that you have a car. So if you want to stay up on the North Shore because it's more quiet, absolutely right, especially during the summer months, it's more quiet up on the North Shore. During winter, it can get busy because then we have the surf competitions there. And then, yes, there can be traffic and it can be busy and it can be a little bit more active than it is during summer. But you do need a car to get around. So just keep that in mind. If you need a shuttle from the airport to Turtle Bay or to the Courtyard Marriott, please don't hesitate. Check out danielshawaii.com and we are happy to shuttle you up to your hotel on the North Shore. We also do airport shuttles here in town. So if you want to have a private airport shuttle coming from the airport to your hotel or going from your hotel to the airport, or if you're coming on a cruise ship and you need a shuttle from the cruise ship to your hotel, please feel free to get in touch with us, danielshawaii.com. We're happy to take you to your destination. We only do private airport shuttles or private shuttles, meaning there's not multiple stops. It's just going to be you, and we pick you up and we drop you off so that you don't have to drive around for hours waiting to be dropped off or picked up at your hotel.